Hello, and welcome back once again to Belmont Bunch. Today, the Islanders ensure at least one more game at the Nassau Coliseum in a convincing 4-1 win. And it's probably the first time all series that I think one of these teams has really taken a stranglehold on a game. Both teams have traded opportunities, but today the Islanders play probably one of their best games of the last month, maybe two. The Isles came out, played pretty well for the most part. Very early on, though, I was a little bit nervous because, Sorokin starts, and you want to get him, reacquainted with the series. You want to get him some easy shots early on, and they don't do that because Kasperi Kapanen gets a decent opportunity. Big stop by not by Varley, by Sorokin. And that, I think, was a big confidence builder, even though you would prefer the first couple of shots to be, from the outside. He makes a stop on that and generally looks really, really composed today. Made a big stop on Crosby on a big wraparound attempt and was able to hold the line on a few whacks on the rebound there. So Sorokin, I think it's obvious. It's not my commentary that, he's got to start the rest of the series at this point. Because it's not that Varley looks really bad, but Sorokin looks dialed in. And come playoff time, you need somebody that's absolutely dialed in. And so that's the way I think it's going to go. Josh Bailey gets us on the board in the second period. Isles, back after the first, the Penguins played a little bit better than the Isles. The Isles early on were able to get their forecheck going. They were winning puck battles. They won a lot of puck battles today. They were really good in the face-off dot. That helps. But the Penguins, nice pushback by the Penguins later in the period. The Isles come out in the second period, kind of reestablish their game a little bit. They get a goal from Josh Bailey. It's a great play from Brock Nelson in the corner, as they pointed out on NBCSN's coverage. Great stick lift, just NBC. Great stick lift by Brock on Sidney Crosby to make sure he's the one that gets the puck. Twirls, finds Josh Bailey, and he scores on a kind of flailing Tristan Jarry, and he's flailing because there's a lot of contact there. Now, I think, the referees today were, spotty, and they have been the whole playoffs in every series. It's very frustrating. But on this one, they get it right. It looks like Chris Letang pushes Anthony Beauvillier into the goalie. Beauvillier makes the attempt, gets out before the shot even comes in, and then it's scored. So for Jarry, it's one of those, and I wonder why this happens, but stop hitting players into your own goalie. You're either going to get him hurt or you're going to get scored on and, not allow your goalie to make a stop. So that happens all the time, though, and I just don't understand it. So Bailey, good on him for shooting, because in the second period, though, the Islanders had a lot of opportunities where they passed up shots. I'm looking at you, Matt Barzal. One time in the slot, wide open for a shot. He drops it off to Leddy, who didn't have a shot and had to just kind of skate back to the corner. So even in a game where they score a bunch of goals, it's like, guys, let's put the puck on net. And Ryan Pulock does do that. Ryan Pulock, well, sort of. There's a rebound, a high rebound all the way out to the point. Ryan Pulock just slaps it back towards the goal. It hits off a Penguin skate and goes in, and it's 2-0 Islanders, who are starting to take control at this point. They're, again, winning puck battles, doing really well along the boards to, roll the puck around, get the puck deep. Not as many failed dump-ins today as well, I noticed, which helps you get guys off the ice. It helps you, not get counterattacked. No odd man rushes going the other way. So 2-0 at the end of two. And the New York Jets were in the building. Dan Feeney, offensive lineman, recently signed with the mullet and crushes the beer over his head. It's great. The vibe in the arena today looked amazing. I wish I could have been there. That's the end of two. Going into the third, it's still a game. The Penguins are a formidable lineup, top to bottom, offensively. and the Isles continue to put on pressure. Now, this is where the refereeing comes in. So, Islanders take a penalty on Mayfield. Didn't like the call. Mayfield, and now there's an argument that every time a defenseman does that kind of stiff arm type thing when the offensive player is trying to get around him, that it's technically interference. But that's not the way the league calls it. So I think this comes down to the hold, but the hold upon the replay, even on the broadcast, they were saying, looks like Crosby makes sure he brings down Mayfield with him. So yeah, not a big fan of that call. Maybe a little bit of game management a second later when Zucker gets called for a trip. Although it's, again, it's one of those, by the letter of the law, it's a trip. It's unfortunate because it's just his stick is there and the Islander steps on it. The part where the referees, though, again, I was a little bit surprised. Casey Cizikas, as Zucker's going to the box, and I'm like, great, let's get to 4-on-4. Casey Cizikas punches Zucker, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't take a penalty and turn it back into a Penguin power play. So the referees kind of missed one there. Zucker, I think, did punch him back afterwards, but yeah, Cizikas, don't do that. Probably should have been called and could have been a 4-on-3. And maybe a turning point, because the Islanders then score 2 power play goals. Oh, where the hell did this come from? And of course it has to be, on a very odd circumstance of even getting the power play. The first one goes to Wahlstrom. It's one of those where, thank God, they just put it on net. Barzy just slid it over to him. 4-on-3, so a little bit more space on the ice, very helpful for the Islanders. This was after another penalty that the Penguins took to turn the 4-on-4 into a 4-on-3. I believe that was a high stick on Gensel, this one was on Malkin. There was a Gensel one later, and the Islanders score on that one. And on the back end of the power play, I think it was still 4-on-3, and the Islanders get another through Eberle. This one's a defensive lapse by the Penguins. Eberle's able to sneak around the defense. Not really on Jari. Not much Jari could do today, really. Not really on him. And the Islanders kind of see it outside of, they give up a shorthanded goal, which is like, I know they're up 4-0, and I know I shouldn't get too crazy about it, but like, you're up 4-0, you should not be caught out in on an odd man rush going the other way. I know it's a little bit unfortunate because the rebound goes straight back down off of, I think, Leddy, who was on the ice, and gets chipped in by Aston Reese. I don't know. Whatever, though. I'll get past that. The Islanders got to learn from that, whatever. But yeah, the Islanders play one of their best games in a while. They come out with a win. Sorokin plays really well. They got to stay disciplined, though. I know they only get called for the one. They got to be careful on that Cizikas type stuff after the whistle. Both teams in the series have to be really careful on that because I'm sure the referees are keeping an eye on that. Now, especially, I'm sure Penguins fans would say they should have been paying attention on that Cizikas play. Anyway, but Islanders, series tied, going back to Pittsburgh. Before we go, I just wanted to mention, first of all, I didn't get shorter. I just was able to mount the board a little bit higher. The hockey guy board, because I'm copying the hockey guy. That's what it is. And John Tavares, I want to give stick taps to him. Good news today about it not sounding like it's a neck injury, no spinal injury. Great news. It's odd that, we're celebrating that it's only a concussion, but that's because of how severe, a hit it was. And then obviously the scary scenes afterwards of the medical professionals out there, the trainers, trying to keep his neck up and kind of failing to do that. So, John Tavares, be well. We hope your family's doing well as well, because that obviously traumatic. And yeah, just be well. I never want to see that happen to anyone. And just hope, he and his family are okay. That's it. That's it from Belmont Bunch. Thank you guys so much for watching. And we will see you again for Game 5 and again for Game 6. One more Coliseum game at least. All right. Goodbye.